try to recall the plot of Final Fantasy X. You know what the really sad thing is about this game?
What is it?
It's actually one of my more favorite Final Fantasy games, despite having the worst characters.
Oh yeah?
I actually really liked the turn-based system, and I really like Riku and all that shit. But god, are these characters horrible. Oh my god. So, I have not played the remaster edition either, so I'm going off of my memory of like 15, 20 years ago. So, the plot of Final Fantasy X. You start off, and you play as Tidus, and he's like the star player of a blitzball team, which is basically underwater soccer, which is kind of cool, but I don't understand how they freaking breathe in all that water, but whatever, right? You're in the middle of the game, and then fucking suddenly the cool badass Ronin Auron shows up, who is one of the best characters in the game, by the way. And he's all like, oh, by the way, because I'm here, fucking the Elder Ones come out from the fucking sky and destroy the place.
Are you sure you're not talking about Kingdom Hearts again?
No, I'm pretty sure I'm not talking about Kingdom Hearts. So then an explosion happens, and then Auron tosses Tidus a water sword, and he goes like, Auron, what is this? And he goes, fight, you pussy. And then you fight some things, and then an explosion happens, and then Tidus finds himself in the ruins of something. The place they're at is called Xanarkand.
Okay.
That is a key point of the story, right? So he finds himself in the ruins, and he gets picked up by a bunch of cyberpunk people, and they're called the Al-Bhed, and they speak their own language, and they're kind of cool because Riku's there, and she's on her full Al-Bhed outfit, or she's on like full fatigues and like goggles and shit. But she's the only one that can speak regular English, so you bond with her, and then you go through some ruins, and then another explosion happens. And then Tidus gets washed up into the small like beach town called Vasad. And I guess that's where he meets Waka and Lulu. And he finds out then like, hey man, you guys play blitzball. Yeah, I'm a blitzball player too. I play for the Xanarkand Aves. And Waka's all like, the fuck? Xanarkand? You crazy. Nobody plays for fucking Xanarkand, because that place is a bunch of ruins right now, and Tidus is all like, what the fuck is going on? But Waka's all like, by the way, my blitzball team is fucking terrible. You want to join it? And he goes, okay, sure. And then he like shows off his blitzball skills, and they're all like, wow, this guy's way higher level than we are. He's gonna save the team. And then like this other rival team comes in and goes, hey, Waka, you guys suck! We're the best, and we're gonna beat your ass in the upcoming FIFA! And then Waka's all like, oh yeah? Well, we'll do our best! And then they're all like, so let's prepare for the tournament. And it's like, by the way, we have a summoner here? Would you like to meet the summoner? And then they go out to the ocean, and you see, like, honestly, one of the best cutscenes in the entire game. Yeah, Yuna doing descending. That's great. But you meet Yuna, and she's a summoner, and she's basically the amalgamation of all previous Final Fantasy heroines rolled into one, except made worse. And then Tidus is like, oh man, I have the hugest boner right now. Can I get with her? And they go, no, because she's summoning fucking Valfor. Kind of cool. Right? And it's like, so what's going on why is she doing the thing? It's like, oh, she's the summoner, she's gotta go on a pilgrimage. If she's gonna save us all from the giant whale in the sky that rains down evil sperm called sin. Actually, I think that's what caused the explosion back in the ruins. The whale came out and blew his load, and that's why Tidus got washed away. So Tidus is all like, hey, Yuna, you're cool and hot. Can I join your crew? And she's all like, aren't you just a blitzball player? I don't hang with blitzball players unless you're the best. And then he does spear shot. He goes, okay, you're pretty cool. You could join my crew. By the way, here's Kimari. He's a blue lion Ronso guy. And Ronso guys have horns, but his is broken. So that's how you can tell him differently from the other Ronso. And that is all I know about Kimari. I have no idea what else he does in the story. I know he's Yuna's guardian or some shit. So I guess Yuna is gonna go on his pilgrimage, and she's all like, I need more bodyguards because I've got a guy with a ball and fucking blue lion guy. Hey, is that Auron? Hey, Auron, can you help us? And Auron's all like, yeah. And then Tidus is like, hey, Auron's back. Let me go with you guys too. And Auron's like, yeah. And I guess Lulu tags along because reasons. I think she's one of Yuna's guardians too. You assemble the whole crew and you go to a cave and you get Ifrit and that's it. And then there's like fucking Shiva and that's it. I guess she's going around picking up the legendary Pokemon. And speaking of which, every now and then Yuna will go into the tall grass and find another summoner who goes, ah, I see you have acquired a new summon. Let's do a Pokemon battle with her summon right now. I don't remember that girl's name, but she was like, she had like brown skin and her guardian was like one big dude. She was basically the summoner tutorial lady. And then at some point, you're like, okay, by the way, we got this really big game we gotta get to. And Yuna's all like, I'm kind of trying to save the world here. But okay, sure. Let's go take a detour so you can go to FIFA. So they get to FIFA. And then they find like fucking the villain, Seymour Guado, I guess. And he's all like, ah. Hello, Summoner. I like your boobs. We're gonna get married later. And Tidus is like, who the fuck is that guy? And he's all like, he's the villain? Oh, hold on. I forgot to mention that this entire time, Tidus has daddy issues. On this journey, he's been complaining to Yuna about his dad, and Yuna's all like, oh, I only know one emotion, and that's sadness. So I feel sad for you, and we're having a connection because you feel sad. And then Tidus goes on a temper tantrum on one of the boats, and he learns Jack Shot. So then, when you're in FIFA, you get the abused Jack Shot, and you win FIFA. And then after FIFA is over and you guys get your trophies or some shit, Sin attacks! Like, Sin's all like, oh man, I just want to watch FIFA too! And then Seymour Guado comes out, and he's all like, oh, by the way, I have a summon too. What? I'm gonna use my summon because I'm the villain. And then he uses a ring or something, and then fucking Genova appears! He summons fucking Genova, he kills the Sin spawns, and then he goes, see you later, Yuna. You want some of this summon? I'll give it to you later, but you gotta jump on my dick for it. And then I guess they need to go get Ixion after this. But they can't do that because they have to, like, go through the Thunder Plains. But they can't go to the Thunder Plains because they gotta go through this road. And I think this is the laughing scene because Yuna's sad and she's all like, oh man, I really have to jump on that guy's dick because I really want that summon. And Tidus is all like, no, just laugh it off. Ha 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 ha. And then she joins him. And that's the most iconic scene in Final Fantasy X. Alright, moving on. So you get to the Thunder Plains and you use the Master Ball on Ixion. And then you move over to a swamp. And Yuna is still crying about shit! And Tidus is all like, hey Yuna, if you want, you can jump on my dick. You can totally ride my shoe puff. And she's all like, eh. And then, fuck!
Before you continue.
I am so lost. At some point you got Riku.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say.
At some point you pick up Riku!
You're like 3 Aeons in and you forgot someone.
Shut up! She's my favorite character and I just don't remember when she appears in the story, okay? At some point you pick up Riku and Waka's all like, wow, you're a new member. Are you Albed? You better not be Albed. You have like a red star on you somewhere. It's fucking stupid because Auron knows what Albed looked like, but Waka hates Albed, but does not know how to identify an Albed. They have like green eyes. That's how you identify an Albed. And that's why Albed always wear like fucking goggles and shit, right? Yeah. So, fuck. Alright, let me slow down a bit. I think at some point after you're collecting all the main Aeon, you need to go to Seymour's Forest Tree House of Fun. What? And then like fucking Tidus is all like, why are you here? And she's all like, I have to jump on his deck. And she's just like, why? Do you really need the Aeon? He's like, we gotta defeat Sin, and he's got an Aeon, and I need the Aeon. And I think that's where the cutscene happens, where they're crying in the river. She's like, I don't want to jump on his deck. And Tidus is like, no. So then you're in the fucking treehouse of fun. And then I guess off screen, Yuna gets kidnapped. And then Riku says, we need to save Yuna because she's kind of my cousin. And I'm like, how did that happen? Wait a minute. Now that you mention it, yeah, one of her eyes is green. She's half Albed. So I guess Waka is a fucking moron. Doesn't realize that the person he admires so much, Yuna, is a half Albed, the race of people he hates for no freaking reason. I think the people of Basad or whatever believe that the Albed caused the Dark Sun calamity. And that's why they hate the Albed. But anyways. Okay. So, Riku's like, by the way, guess what else Albed have? Airships. So you get on an airship, and then you go back to the FIFA place. What? Where they converted into like a wedding. And you see Yuna in the wedding dress. And like, Tidus and company, like, crashed the wedding, and Yuna's all like, guys, what are you doing? This was all part of my plan! Because, as a summoner, Yuna has the ability to, like, fight against zombies who are walking around, and they're called Unsent, and she has the ability to send them back to the Netherworld. So Seymour's all like, oh, you actually played at marriage for a chance to send me? Bravo! But you still jumped on my dick, so I still win no matter what. And then you kick Seymour's ass, and I think that's the end of Seymour. So then, what the fuck else is there left to do? Oh, they need to go, I think there's one more summon they need to go to, but they can't go through there unless they go through the fucking Sahara Desert, which, by the way, that's where the Albed are. And then Sin attacks, and Waka's all like, y'all are Albed? What the fuck? I automatically hate you all despite the adventures we went on! And then, like, Riku's dad, Sid, by the way, who's the pilot of the airship, is all like, okay, we're gonna do something I really don't want to do, and we're gonna blow up our home. And Waka's all like, oh man, maybe I'm too much of an asshole. And then I guess he calms down from now on. He's still a fucking moron, though. And then after the Albed blow up their home, you go to the Chocobo Plains? What the fuck? Like, there's this big giant valley where the last Sin battle happened. And, oh, you're trying to get to Xanarkand, the ruins of Xanarkand, because I guess that's just where Sin hangs out. So you get there, and then all of a sudden you find out that, like, Seymour and Tidus' dad, whose name is Jex, as well as Yuna's dad and Orin are all Unsent. All of them are zombies. And you find out that in order to fucking destroy Sin, or seal away Sin for like another, I guess 30 years? Wow, that's a very specific small amount of time. You have to have one of your guardians become a summon, and then summon them at the Sin Heart, and then they'll go dormant, and then they grow up to become a big giant Sin whale. So, right at this moment, the current Sin, the big giant whale that's flying around the sky, is actually decked. And then they get to Xanarkand, they find the truth, and then they leave Xanarkand, and then they do some, like, backtracking and soul-searching. They realize, oh, hey, if we just kill all the Aeons, maybe we'll just stop the Sins from being born. There's also something about you, Yevon. I have no idea what that's about. I think this is Spira's version of Jesus. So they take the airship, they go over to freaking Sin again, and they're all like, okay, we're gonna fight Sin. We go into Sin. You go to the core of Sin and you throw an Aeon at it, and then the Aeon turns evil. And then you kill that Aeon, and then you fight another. You throw another Aeon at it, and then it turns evil, and then you fight that, and you do that for pretty much all your Aeons until you get to the point where you find out Sin's true form is a tick, and all it does is cast heal on itself. And I'm like, this is seriously the final battle? This is seriously the final battle. So you kill the tick, and then you realize that, oh, by the way, Tidus is also unsaid. So then Tidus goes away, and then Yuna decides, no, now that that whiny bastard's gone, and I have no more dicks to jump on, I'll just turn into a lesbian, and I'll start my own girl band. And that's Final Fantasy X.